mean, to be a Manchester United player, to win at Anfield against Liverpool, it hasn't happened since 2016. How good does that feel today?
Yeah, obviously amazing feeling. I think it's been a long time, so to win it in this phase of the season, such an important game, is obviously a really nice feeling.
And to win it in the way you did, through Harry Maguire having conceded the equaliser, must have been some adrenaline rush.
Yeah, obviously the fact that we could still score the winner 2-1 says enough about our mental strength today. I think we were all really hyped and really. The focus was really high today, and this is something that's amazing. And I think the most important thing is that we keep continuing that, even in other games, because that's something that we lack sometimes. So with today, I'm really happy. And
you're happy for Harry Maguire? He's a scorer of big goals in the last 12 months or so, isn't he?
No, I'm really happy for H. I'm really happy for H. He played a really good game today. It's not easy to come in after not have played the last game, so it's a big compliment to him, but not only to him. I think also today the subs made a really big difference. If you see how, for example, Leniora comes in last 50 minutes. As a defender, to come in last minutes is the most difficult thing to do, but how he did it is amazing. So not only H, but the whole squad today was amazing.
And to keep Liverpool at bay the way you did when they're attacking the Kop, it must have been a real test of concentration there at the end.
Yeah, today was a game that you really have to be concentrated, especially with the crosses they put in. If you lose your concentration for 1 second, it's a goal. And this is something that we did really well today. Unfortunately, the goal we conceded was maybe just a little moment that was the lack of concentration, but for the rest, I think we did it really well.
And could this finally be the trigger? I mean, it's the first time under your manager you've won back-to-back Premier League games, a fantastic place to do it. Can this kick you on now to some consistency?
Let's hope so. Obviously, it's the first time since a long time that we win 2 games in a row. So this is obviously, for the confidence, really good. Winning at Anfield against the champions of last year is obviously also for the confidence amazing. So, yeah, let's continue on this road. Keep working hard, and hopefully the next game against Brighton I think we put in the same performance.
And just to put it into context, you're only the third team to win at Anfield in the last 3 years in the Premier League. You've been at United long enough now to know what this fixture means to your supporters.
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
You know what this win means to Manchester United supporters now. You've been at the club long enough.
Yeah, of course I know. Less week in the street sometimes. Some people are saying, hey, Sunday is Liverpool, you have to be ready. So you know what it means to the people and also to the fans. You know, we had a lot of difficult moments last season. This season also some difficult moments, but to give them also some joy in this phase of the season is something that, as a player, gives also a lot of joy to give them a nice evening. I think every United fan today can enjoy this win and have a good dinner tonight.
Absolutely. You too. Well played. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, Ruben, I'm conscious that the questions for you in these interviews are often quite dramatic. If you lose, it's a disaster. If you win, it's a transformational moment. Nonetheless, was that perhaps the biggest win of your time as Manchester United manager?
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't mean a lot. It means today, but tomorrow is not going to mean a lot. It's 3 points. But it's a good victory. But I will do the same thing that I did in the last games: is try to see the game. Try to in key points we had some luck, but we fought for every ball. We lost our composure a little bit in the second half. But the most important thing, the spirit was there, and that is the beginning of everything. And sometimes you play more with the ball, and other days you play without the ball. But if you have the spirit, you can win any game.
That's how Arne Slot saw the game. Jamie Carragher obviously was commentating for us. Jamie, I know you missed the beginning of that, but just to sum up, Arne Slot saying that he would have been happy if he knew how many chances Liverpool would create in the match. And actually, Cody Gakpo had a higher XG than Manchester United as a team in that game, hit the post 3 times, but that they have to finish them better, but also that defensively, of the chances they did give up, they conceded a couple of goals, including one from a set piece, or from a corner that led to the goal. And then he said, we just can't afford to be doing that.
Yeah, I think it's a really good interview, that, because when you lose a game of this magnitude, people get emotional. You know, even pundits, supporters. And it probably is a good time for the manager to be measured. 4 defeats in a row. He's explained the game really well. If Liverpool put the majority of the chances, he'd probably win the game. But the way the Premier League is style-wise this season, for everybody, set pieces is a big part of the game. Everybody's taking long throws this season. You know, set pieces galore. We look at Arsenal, the success they've had as well. And Liverpool just can't seem to cope at their own. So we keep talking about new signings and integrating them in terms of actually the football Liverpool are playing. But the new signings that Liverpool have brought in, has it affected them set piece-wise as well? You know, the fullbacks are quite small. You know, there's no sort of great, you know, physical presence in there. Even if you play a Verts in midfield and McAllister as well, you've got to think set piece-wise as well. Is the team big enough? And maybe this is hurting Liverpool now, not just in terms of actually, you know, playing the football and getting players on the ball, but it looks like they're not coping at all well with set pieces. They can see last minute at Crystal Palace from a long throw as well. Another corner at Crystal Palace as well. So yeah, they're struggling, I think, with the style of the whole Premier League right now.
You mentioned the fact that it's a time for Arne Slot to be measured after 4 defeats in a row. But if you look at performances across the whole season, you were saying in the first game of the season against Bournemouth that there were worrying signs defensively for Liverpool from open play. Have they gone any way to fixing those? Do they still look as vulnerable in open play as you thought they were on that first day?
Oh yeah, it hasn't changed. And I think a few weeks ago I looked about Liverpool maybe going back to having Szoboszlai in the midfield and maybe Verts coming out the team because he's more of an offensive number 10 than Szoboszlai. But Szoboszlai's played in that position in the last 2 games, you know, away at Chelsea, here against Manchester United today, and Liverpool are still conceding goals and conceding big chances. You know, you think of the chance Fernandes had in that first half as well. Manchester United should be 2-0 up in that situation. So there's, as we said before the game, I don't think it's one glaring problem. There's lots of things. New signings, not up to speed, but some of Liverpool's great players last season are playing nowhere near the level that they are, and you know, just making sort of errors. And you talk about Konate, he was brilliant today. Konate had a great game, but then Van Dijk's nowhere near himself. I mean, he has a really poor game as well. So it's not quite happening for Liverpool right now. And I think I've just mentioned on the podcast actually. I think it might.
Where's that available to download? All your usual podcast places.
Exactly. But I think when the champions or a team, if you think of last season, on such a long run undefeated from the Nottingham Forest game, I think maybe to the Fulham game later in the season, almost feel invincible. And then this season, as soon as someone beats them, this run goes on a 4 games. I remember Manchester City last season had that run where you couldn't believe this was Manchester City. You feel a little bit like that with Liverpool. And I go back to a game I played in here 5 years ago or something, where the invincible team with Arsenal, the following season, once they'd lost 1 game, everyone thought, oh, maybe you can beat them. And they actually went on a run of sort of losing 4 or 5 games. So it's just one of those things that they've looked at it in right now. And just, as the manager said, you know, you've got to get out of it quick. But it's probably, we're not going to see the best of Liverpool, I would say, till the second half of the season.
But that's why I draw, Jim. That's why I think a draw today. I know we're praising them for gambling and winning, getting late goals. But on the back of 3 defeats, you're home to United and it's 1-1. Don't shy away from taking a point as well. I think just to stop the rot. Not 3 games for Liverpool was a lot. But there's a bit of arrogance to that, which is nothing wrong with that. When you're champions, you think there's a bit of a swagger. Go, so smell the game and go, there's danger here. That's why there's not no taking a point.
He was saying that to me this week when I went to the training ground to talk to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen teams losing 4 games before on their own. You think, wow, where is the next win going to come from? The confidence looks gone. They're playing awful. They can't score. I don't see that with Liverpool at the moment. You know, going away to Chelsea in the last game, lots of teams lose at Stamford Bridge, and they lost them with the last kick of the game. It was a 50-50 game. Today again, they played pretty well. I mean, they do look a little bit ragged at the back. Certainly in the first half, I thought they looked a bit stronger in the second half. First half, they looked a little bit ragged at the back, but they're going forward and they're creating chances. As I mentioned earlier, they hit the post 2 or 3 times.
What about the chance at 2-1 for Cody Gakpo? I mean, most other days this goes in and we're having a different conversation, aren't we?
And that is football. That's okay. Creating chances, missing chances, that will always happen. The more chances you create, the more you're going to miss. So this is always going to happen. Yeah, it's a big miss. Yes, obviously, it might have been a game changer. Of course it would have. But as long as you're creating the chances, then Liverpool will be okay. And as I say, I don't look at Liverpool thinking, wow, this is a team that are really lacking in all kinds. I actually think quite the opposite. I actually think they played quite well today. And Manchester United, you know, did really well themselves. Full credit to Manchester United. So everybody will be hurt in the Liverpool dressing room. The fans will go home a little bit unhappy, let's say, but I still think they've got a lot to look forward to. And you know, put it this way: when Arsenal are watching the Premier League results next week, again they'll be thinking, "Hope Liverpool lose. They're still our big challengers," and that's the case.